Well, I've learned something. No, I didn't forget to hit the go live button. I did not forget. And I didn't, the text didn't come through. Okay, scrolling up. So I wanted to be able to, I had popped out the chat and oh boy. Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to be able to see my Saturday 6 window, like I use, it's just a Google slide file. Man, I'm not feeling the positivity tonight. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. Hey, everybody. So I wanted to be able to see the Saturday 6 window and OBS, I knew I would need to change scenes because I have pictures and stuff that I want to share. No, it wasn't. It wasn't on silent because I was in OBS and I could see the little thing moving. It's fine. And then and I popped out the chat so I could see that. So I had 3 windows. Blah, blah, blah. And what I did was I clicked go live and I saw my thing pop up, and then I minimized the streaming window. Hi, Stefan. And apparently that like kept it in like hiatus or something, and it didn't actually begin streaming. So, but I haven't been able to see I've been looking at my OBS, video, and I haven't seen that. I've just seen, nobody's really active in chat, and that's okay. Some days are going to be like that. I didn't get Steve's text. So yeah, I've done the whole show to the ether, I guess. Because, like, I don't want to watch the YouTube thing. I don't want to watch the YouTube thing. So, okay. This is going to be alert. Oh, man. I'm really frustrated. So, okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to minimize. Happy Saturday. Thanks, Winterbird. I'm not really feeling happy this Saturday. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is minimize the YouTube window now when I can see then the time is going and everything. And what I want to know if thank you, Andrew. It's so thoughtful of you. So thoughtful of you. It's okay. It's going to be fine. So, I'm going to minimize this and then I'll maximize it again, and it'll be interesting. You guys are going to have to let me know whether like I freeze, what happens to the video and the sound and everything when I minimize this. So I'm going to minimize this, and it's minimized now. I'm just going to keep talking. Maybe I was so excited to start my show that I just clicked minimize before it had fully transitioned over, because I could, like, you can see the preview before you actually go live. So I may have clicked go live and then it didn't finish going live before I minimized it. So now I'm going to pop it back up, and I need y'all in the chat. So there's going to be like a delay or something to let me know if it just like stopped. Everything seems fine. So I think what I need to do, I'm going to minimize it again. I'm going to pop out the chat. Bloop. Hi, chat. And I'm going to minimize the YouTube window so that I can see everything that's going on again. It's not dark here, although it is stormy over here as well. Although it's probably dark over where you are because you're, what, 5 hours ahead of me? So I have learned something. That is a good thing. Make sure I am fully live before minimizing things. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. So I've learned that. Now the only thing is, I'm hoping that what that means is there's not gonna, if somebody rewatches this, and Steve, you might know, or I guess we can find out. Um, if somebody watches this, are they gonna have to sit through like 20 minutes of like nothing? But like when I pulled up the YouTube window again, it's like you're only 3 minutes in. So I think the replay is gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay. I'll just we're a little late tonight. I was on time. I was totally on time. But I don't know. Like the live-ing part of it. I just had a really, really authentic dress rehearsal, I guess. All right, so back we go to the Saturday Six. So, most of you are also followers of Steve, so you've probably heard the story about my dad. Not just this past week, the week before, but holy smokes, you guys, that was really rough. So my dad has all kinds of luck. Good luck, bad luck, and I guess, I don't know, is in between luck kind of a thing? Well, I don't know, but he seems to have all of it. And I'm really, really, really glad that situation resolved the way it did. Yeah. So in case anybody's watching this and isn't familiar with the story or is happening upon it later, IDK. Not just this past week, but the week before, my dad was having some dental work done. He was having a cap replaced, and they were putting the new cap on, and it got dropped somehow, and he like coughed, and he didn't swallow it. He aspirated it. They did an x-ray. It went into his lung. He went to the hospital. My mom sent a Facebook message to like the entire clan, which is like, I don't know how many people, but it's, her siblings, her in-laws, my other, well, not in-laws, I guess, cousins, my siblings, her cousins, just like dozens of people, and whew, everybody. Okay, Steve, that will be helpful, because then that means that people who are, if anybody happens across this later, they won't be like, the heck is going on? Anyway, but so then, like, the idea was Dad was going to get surgery, but he wasn't going to be able to get it right away because they were going to actually have to cut him open and go into his lung to remove this fragment of tooth. But they couldn't do it right away because my parents are older. I think at this point they're both, if I do the math, they're both in their 80s now. Yay! Mom just had her 80th birthday. No, wait, 40. What year is it? 22. No, she'll be 80 next year because she was born in 43. So yeah, they're not spring chickens anymore, and Dad's on blood pressure medication, and they have to take him off that before they can do the surgery for safety. So we need, not on his blood pressure medication. He's on antibiotics and and probably gonna have to be on a ventilator after the surgery and that's just not good, especially when you're his age, and then COVID's still a thing, and they've asked no visitors, and I was coping but really upset. And then like a day or two later, Thursday, because it was before the surgery, Dad called. I didn't realize it was him. Like, I handed the phone off to my husband. I was like, look, you talk to this person. I thought it was his friend. And Dad, I think, was really confused by that. I didn't want to talk to him. Anyway, my husband eventually gave me the phone back after Dad explained what was going on. And I'm like, okay, what's this? And he's like, hey, this is your dad. I was like, whoops. And he told me that he wasn't going to have the surgery because he'd coughed the tooth up. And yeah. So he had an adventure. I think, I broke my ankle pretty spectacularly. But like, Dad, it's not a competition. Honestly, you guys, my family, I love them. But we're we're something else. I don't know what it is sometimes, but we're something else. So that is definitely a good thing. I am so grateful. Also, um, my mom too. She hit a deer, but I don't know how much damage was into the car. I don't know if they were able to get it repaired. I think it's not totaled. But she and all the passengers were okay. Deer, you don't mess with those. I'm from Pennsylvania. We know that. All right, moving on. Okay, so the first time around, I will tell you, I'm struggling with this positivity thing, you know. Um, so that's why nobody was here, because there was no notification that I was live. Well, I feel better because like now there are people in the chat. I was like, okay, okay, I'll just do this, and it's okay that nobody's watching. So I feel better now. That helps. So yeah, the Inflation Reduction Act. So two big it's not just about inflation. This is also significant legislation for climate change. But I'm kind of struggling about feeling good about it because I just this and a couple other things that I noticed I should be pointing this way. This and a couple other things that I've noticed. Yes, it is a step forward. Golly, I'm sounding like random geek. I'm trying to remind myself that this is progress. These are things that we need. We do need these things, but it's hard not. It feels just like a reminder of what we're not doing, what we need to do. The more that we need to do that we ain't done. Oh, but these are things that we need to do. So I'm breathing. I'm trying to be grateful. I'm not feeling really successful. Winter burden? Yeah, me too. I did not cough up my ankle, but much like my dad, and I was not able to avoid surgery. Oh my goodness, Radical Bacon. Were you in a car at the time, or no, you said you were walking, right? I was walking. Holy smokes. Radical Bacon, I don't think my dad's experience would make a good D&D adventure because he did not none of it was on purpose. And player agency is important in role-playing games. So, you have a story that you want to tell, but if the story you want to tell is you have this, you swallowed a tooth and then coughed it up, it's not a whole lot of player agency there. But it makes for an interesting story after the fact. But hey, Sarah, I missed you. Yes, Steve, exactly. It is progress. It is progress. Just I don't know why. Just right now it feels like, yes, it is progress, but it feels very much like a reminder of how little it is. It doesn't feel like a slap in the face. It just feels like this is all we get. I don't know. And I feel like an ungrateful child at Christmas. That's what it is. Like, I feel that's what it is. That's what it is. I feel like a child at Christmas whose siblings got better presents. And I get something. It's not nothing. But it's not even that I'm jealous for my siblings who have better presents. It's that I feel sad and like, what's wrong with me? Well, I know what's wrong with us. Breathing. All right, so I will try to refocus and keep pushing for what we need. Breathing. Attempting to breathe. So, moving on. Okay, so this one is actually just fully positive. I got another Duolingo trophy. I'm pretty happy about this. So my first trophy was in Portuguese, which I actually haven't been practicing recently, because the language the second language that I'm most comfortable with is, besides English, is French. And so when Duolingo has like the lightning ones where you can get up to 40 XP for a single lesson, I'm just like, let's flip over to French and just buzz right through this, because I think you get 2 minutes to do a lesson. And I can usually get through one in about a minute and a half, pretty consistently. Um, sometimes sometimes it's challenging because I'm usually on my phone when I do that. Because I have not been able to find it on desktop, which is interesting. So I'm not very, when they give me when they give me the typing ones, when the ones where you listen and then type it out letter by letter, those are just really hard because I'm not good at thumb typing. I'm just not. And then on top of that, I'm very grateful that they turn off the autocomplete, because that would seriously heck me up. But I can't rely on like just like typing out part of the word and then using like the words, the suggested words to complete the phrase, because it's in French. So I actually have to type out all the words. Oh gosh. But with having it be timed, it does create some pressure. It's a little bit challenging. I'm exactly. I'm on my way to being a super polyglot, the way we are on the way to reversing climate change. I think it's about equivalent. On the other hand, it's kind of funny because I feel really good about my second Duolingo trophy. And I bet the people in Congress feel really good about the progress that we're making towards reversing climate change. Sim, Stefan, falo só pouco de português. Like this much. It did take me years. Well, I've been working on I think officially I've been working on all of these languages for years at this point. Although the ones that are really challenging, I haven't done in a while. So the second Duolingo trophy, my first one was Portuguese, and the second one is in Haitian Creole. And I'm really enjoying the lessons in Haitian Creole. I'm doing much better with spelling than I was when I started out. It's really interesting to me because of what I know. So I lived when I was 11, 10, 11. I think I had my 11th birthday when we were down there. We lived for a year in Haiti. My dad's sister was a missionary there, and so Dad took a year sabbatical and we lived down there for a year. Not really sure what all was involved in that decision. So, but now that I'm most of this, I can't, or at least when I started, I couldn't spell in Creole for like anything, like really. And at this point, fortunately, none of the lessons require me to spell things out. I can always use a word bank. My spelling is atrocious, but if I hear it and I've got the word bank, I can be like, oh, that's how they spell this. That's how my spelling is really bad. But it's really interesting because the way they spell something, like I can phonetically tell which one of the words on there, like buey low. I know which one's buey and which one's low. It's not that hard, but like I'm not even to the point of knowing where the accents are. Like, I can figure, when I see the accent, I'm like, okay, that's why it's there, and that's why it's spelled this way. But yeah, it's really interesting. But yeah, I would spell things out phonetically, and a lot of the time I'd just be wrong. But I think somebody who is like a fluent speaker would be able to understand it. It's just really interesting. And so Haitian Creole, there are of course a lot of cognates with French, but also with Spanish as well. And it's really interesting to see the influences of other language on a Creole language. Also, the construction, it's really interesting. Like the verb tenses often don't conjugate. There are other they use other like marker words. I don't know what the linguistic term is, but like mop or mte for, I have, or, to indicate a type of past tense, or to indicate like present progressive. And but some of those can be left out the way like the way that first person pronouns can be left out in Spanish. So there's, again, so there's some of that carries over. And and then also there's only one third person singular pronoun. And it's really interesting when they give me a sentence in Creole and I go to translate it to English, if it's bumly, like give that to me, bumly. Lee means, or it might mean that. Well, that wouldn't make sense because you wouldn't say give her or give him. Well, I guess you could. Or Besman Lee. I need him. I need her. I need it. Bye, Andrew. Enjoy your holiday. And not so much just the marks, but like the like actual words that are used, sort of like diacritical marks, I think. And so the use of Lee as this third person pronoun, and I think it's also subject or object, as I'm thinking. Yeah. So subject or object. And so subject or object is generally indicated by placement. Subject is typically at the beginning, object later on in the sentence. So you can usually figure that out that way, but you have to have context for whether it's him, her, or it. And so it's interesting to me to think about when I'm like, if I see that besoin li, I need so-and-so, or I need something. I don't know, Radical Bacon. You are not a third person pronoun, but IDK. My brain will translate that sentence as, I need her, or I need it. And it's interesting to think about which one my brain goes to as a default and why. And it's also interesting because our third person plural pronouns are not gendered. It's they and them. And we do have one for subject and one for object. But we don't like consider that. It's just group. And there's also no differentiation between people and objects. I need them. Okay, you talking about people? Are they all female? Are they all male? Is it a mixed group? Are they people or are they objects? We don't know. So, but we don't do that in singular. So it's just really, really interesting. And it really makes me think about, and I'll talk about this again later, about why language works the way it does, and what if it was different, and how that affects the way that we communicate, and the way that we think about things, and about the way that we communicate with people, and the way that we think about other people and our relationships with them. This is really interesting. I will say, I am really happy about getting my second Duolingo trophy. But if you just want to collect Duolingo trophies, Haitian Creole is the way to go, because since it is a relatively new Duolingo language, there aren't as many lessons. So like I can just blitz through the French on the timed lessons, but I don't actually have the French trophy because there's a lot more lessons to go through to get to that dadgum trophy. And I haven't been doing this. I've been doing the lightning lessons instead because they're worth more XP. Duh. So anyway, all that to say, I'm really, really enjoying learning the Haitian Creole lessons. But when I want an XP boost, I go back to French because I can just blaze through those and get like quadruple XP and less time. So I can just burn right through this. So it's kind of interesting. All right, moving right along. So I have pictures for these. One of the things that I got to do recently was visit the Hunter Museum of Art for free, thanks to my Chattanooga Public Library card. Last Saturday, maybe Sunday. Anyway, Radical Bacon, I am. I would say almost like a min-maxer. No, wait. Not just min-maxing, but what do they call it? Like a rules lawyer, the equivalent. Anyway, so I'd seen this event on social media, and I was kind of hoping, like, I wanted to go. I wanted to go to this exhibit, but you know, I didn't know if I wanted to go to it enough to pay for going to the museum. And I saw this event where I wouldn't have to. But my husband and daughter do not have Chattanooga Public Library cards because um, we don't live in Chattanooga. I have one because I volunteer with the library. Um, but like we also have library cards for where we live. So um, they're not as fanatical, I guess, about the library as I am. So yeah, I visit not just our local public library, but also some of the ones I visit, the one down near where we work. And um I guess those are the three that I mainly use. So the one here in our town and down where I work are both in the same system. They're both in the Cherokee Regional System, and then across the across the state line in Chattanooga, I have that one as well. And I've gone to a couple of others, not down, the downtown branch is the one I usually use. Anyway, so, but then after that happened with my dad, I was like, my parents live in Chattanooga and they have Chattanooga library cards. So I called up and had said, hey, would you guys be interested in going to this? And they were already planning to go. So they were like, we'll just go together. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to go back. Hello, where did you go? To the, and then I'm going to see, this is why I needed to minimize, because I've got like 70 bazillion windows. It feels like 70 bazillion windows. Like I have lots of tabs, but they're so much easier to navigate than like the windows when I'm doing like a live stream, and OBS is being a butt, and YouTube, everybody, they're all being butts. Okay, so I think I want this one. There we are. So, no. Oh my goodness gracious. I'll get to that later. Ugh, I have no idea why I did that. So this is the view from the entrance to the Hunter Museum of Art, and we're looking at the Broad Street Bridge. No, Market Street. My bad. Broad Street ain't got a bridge. Market Street Bridge. No, wait. I think that is Broad Street. And then Market Street is the one you can kind of see through it. If you look over there, you can kind of see like the one that is over towards me. There's a little bit extra blue, and that's like there's a second bridge there, I think. Not really sure. Not that it matters unless you happen to, if you happen to be in Chattanooga, let me know and we'll hang out. You can also see that there is a metal statue of a man just kind of sitting like this. So yeah. So that's out. It's just a nice day. You can see the ridge off in the distance. See the Tennessee River there. And then this is the entrance to the Hunter Museum. And this is another statue. This one's called Found Money. So you got these two little roly-poly people standing on a bag of money, which I don't know if you can see, but there is a dollar sign on the top of that bag. So, and then we went inside. No, I didn't. Breathing. I am breathing. I'm glad that I have a computer that works, and I'm glad that I have internet, public supported internet. It's all good. I'm breathing. And then this is the atrium, looking out through the window into across the Tennessee River. And that's can you see that maybe? You can see that. You can see the little island. And I don't know. You cannot see, I think, the Veterans Bridge. If I go this way on it, you can kind of see. There we go. That's the Veterans Bridge over there. Not that that's important. Anyway, so my dad asked about the sculpture that's there, and if that was part of the Enchanted exhibit, and I said, imagination and dreaming, and I said, no, I think that has been there longer, and I think that is a connection to the Tennessee River. Like it's supposed to be aquatic and like waves and stuff. So then this is the entrance to the exhibit itself. So yeah, it says you can kind of see in there a history of fantasy illustration. So it was interesting for me to think about what they chose to include, and what pieces there was. Most of it was there was a lot from like Magic the Gathering cards, as well as a number. There were some Pathfinder type pictures, some things that had been used in promotion for I think World of Warcraft and other similar games. Um, Illustrations from Lord of the Rings, some other fantasy art, some N.C. Wyeth paintings. I'm trying to think what else. Some really, really cool and interesting stuff. They also had some things, Norman Rockwell stuff. So this, Camp Chalmers, this is the Hunter Museum of Art in Chattanooga. And the exhibit will run through the beginning of September. So I got to go for free. Sarah, no, and I don't think it would have been, because I was thinking about that sort of thing, like essentially what constitutes fantasy. There was no White Wolf art in there at all. Vampire is not billed as fantasy, but as, quote, a storytelling game of modern horror. So that would it would not. It is adjacent to the fantasy genre, but I would say it's more more modern paranormal as a broader genre. Radical Bacon. I have not played D&D 1. I don't know if my husband's gotten it or not. I don't. Actually, I think the video that I just shot a couple days ago, where I'm talking about independent reading, I talk about my experience with gaming. I don't really consider myself a video gamer. Kemp, there. I don't. It depends on what you mean by a lot. There are I would say there's more hiking in Chattanooga than caving. Sarah, I would think that I would think Changeling the Dreaming would be much more consistent with fantasy than Vampire. If you're going to go for one of the main games, they did also have some comic book stuff in general, and then they also had the art. I recognized the artist's name, and it was a husband and wife duo who did, where he did the penciling and she did the inks, for Superman and Wonder Woman. And okay, I'll ask Radical Bacon. I'll ask Dwayne about it. D&D 1, because there are a couple of things that he's been involved in. He might actually be in it. There are a couple of things that he's involved with the beta of, like some of the playtesting of, and that might be one of them. Not really sure. He has the Valve console, like the kind of like the Switch, the Valve version of Switch. He's really been enjoying that. Okay, and so this is my mom and dad, and so if you look past them, you can see they're looking at some panels from Prince Valiant, and my dad's like, oh, it's kind of cool that it's been around that long. You can see. Can you see? No, you can't. I'm gonna move so over. They also had like these little, and it's just a little bit in the picture there. These panels where they gave information about a section of the collection. Like this next section was going to be all about. They had some. Oh gosh, Brandon. Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, some panels from his books, as well as there were a number of paintings inspired by and used for Tolkien's works. So, y'all, when you use pronouns, I often don't know what you're talking about. All right, so I think those are all the pictures that I have from going there with my parents. But it was really good to spend time with them and to do something fun. Also, it wasn't just that exhibit. If you let me pop back over here. You can see there's a bunch of people down at the bottom. And let me see. Can you see? You can kind of see. Okay, so let me see if I can move this up a little bit. So like right here, they have like free cotton candy, and then over here, this is a table for Connuga, and that is one of the science fiction fantasy gamer type cons. I don't remember who was out on. That might just be people hanging out. And then over here, there was a little craft table. They also had students who were performers with the Chattanooga Ballet were there, and the one of the program directors, they had this neat little activity where you could pick out they had word cards. And so some of the word cards had different ballet moves in it. Like one of the ones I chose was arabesque, so different ballet moves. And then you also got to choose one adverb. So like charmingly, or I chose passionately, and they also had like magically and fantastically. And so you would give these to one of the dancers, and they would look at the 3 different moves and the adverb, and they would create a little dance that incorporated those 3 moves, interpreted with that adverb. That was the idea. Mostly, bless their hearts, since they were, students, upper middle school, high school, they're like, okay, how do we go from this one to this one and not just do the 3 moves, but actually make them work together? So they were more focused on the choreography aspect than the interpretation aspect, which was interesting. And it was kind of cute. They also had the library workers who were there. They said, okay, so you're going to come by our booth at the end when you're ready to leave, and you can make slime. I was like, that is a really good point. You don't want to take the slime into the museum with the artwork. Let's not do that. So, okay, I'm going to go back here. Bye, Sarah. It was good to see you again. All right. So, okay, so we're back there, and we're back. So that was me. And so the next thing is another one that I struggled with on the list. Nothing wrong with it, but Scotland is now providing menstrual products for free. And the thing is, like, that's a good thing. It's really great. I'm really glad, but like, why is that even a thing? Like, if a public restroom can provide toilet paper for free, why not menstrual? Like, and just the fact I say, why not menstrual products? And I'm like, we know why not. We know why not. Because misogyny, that's why. Because, women's needs are just not as important. They're only women's needs, And that's not even bringing in, like, trans people and, gender identity. Menstruation is assumed to be a women's issue and therefore less important. And, like, not everybody uses public bathrooms all the time, but we still provide them. And it's just, like, nobody questions them. If you are a facility that's open to the public, like a private facility, like, let's be honest, these are, we call them public restrooms, but they're kind of not. They're not run by the public in most cases, unless it's at like a library or a state park or something. I'm breathing, or like that. But these are private businesses that are open to the public, but they're privately owned businesses. But since they're open to the public, they are expected to have restrooms available for use. And the arguments that are made against menstrual products could just as easily be made against toilet paper. Well, if you just provide that and anybody could take it, then some people will come in and take it when they'll just come in and take it. And the thing is, you could do the same thing with toilet paper. You could go to Walmart and not purchase anything and go into the restroom and just go into the stall. I mean, presuming that it's open, and then just reach over and like grab a bunch of toilet paper. Just unroll it. Wind it around your hand. Okay? Wind it around your hand. Wind. And then like tear it off, finish winding it around your hand, and then walk out. The door buzzer, the alarm, those little things that you don't have a barcode on that, they're not going to go off. And even if you still have it wound around your hand, You can just go. Do you really think that the person who's supposed to be checking for shoplifting, who's supposed to be checking your cart, is going to stop you? You really think so? I don't think so. So, like, same thing for menstrual products. So once again, there is progress, but it just seems to be reminding me of how much further, like how limited this progress is. Ugh. We had so much work to do. But yay, Scotland. All right, and earlier today, Radical Bacon. That's nice. Congratulations on a non-existent period. As I've gotten older, my period has gotten a lot more managed. It's just a lot easier. It's the flow is not as heavy, the cramps are not as bad. Um it's hard to say about the mood swings. Like, that's less objectively measurable. I guess cramps are, somewhat also subjective, but like amount of blood flow, that's pretty observable. Anyway, um, but and it's hard to tell how much of it is actually it's gotten easier and how much of it is just me getting more experience dealing with it. So IDK. But it feels like it definitely does not incapacitate me the way that it did in my teens and early 20s, like late teens. Early teens, is I guess I was just sort of getting into womanhood. As it was starting out, it wasn't as bad as it was late teens, early 20s. Ooh, that was bad. It was pain, like pain, pain, pain. I guess it's a trade-off though, because now that I'm old, I have lower back pain for other reasons. All right, so live stream with Christy this thing. So earlier today, I got to do a live stream with Christy where we talked about language, and so I was able to pull in some of what I said about Haitian Creole. It was really interesting. We were talking about language and patriarchy and social construction and how language influences our worldview and how our worldview influences language and how it's a cycle. Kept Charles. I guess technically yes, but I don't think that having children had anything to do with it, because that was very recent and it involved adoption, not pregnancy. So I don't think that had anything to do with my physiology. So probably not. Probably not. Don't think that had anything to do with it. So yeah, that's 6. But as a bonus, I realized when I was going through my pictures that I had some other things that I didn't include that maybe I should have. So let me go back to pictures. There's my dude. And I also, here we go. I got to do postcards to voters at the library and had other people come and, ooh, I need to go and not show you that. I'll need to blur that. Crap. Somebody's address was on there. It's upside down. I hope that's not too bad. I'll see if I can't figure out how to blur that. Maybe I can do that. Just fudge it. I don't know. Oh well. I hope it's okay. So, and then I also, ooh, these are pretty cool. Like when I saw them on my phone, I didn't realize, like when you, let's move this. Poopy. The moon had a halo around it one morning when I went out, and so you can kind of see it a little bit better there. But that first picture that I got in there, because when I looked at the icon, I wasn't sure which one I wanted. Definitely not this one, because there's a little, when you're doing a photo in night mode, you have to hold really still, and I was not very good at holding really still the first time. But yeah, it looked really cool, and you can see the halo around it, and then. I'm just gonna guess that that's Venus, because it's like the only one that you can see, and that's generally, if there's only one you can see, it's probably Venus. The forbidden stream. That makes it sound like it's in there. So yeah, and then it's just, you can see it better there through the clouds, and that rainbow halo effect was really cool. Over oh, you can't see it. The little red dot there. There it is. There's a little radio station right near the park where I like to go and take a walk stupid early in the morning. But I mean, before it gets, ridiculously hot. So, those are my photos. And oh, and I did talk about this the first time, but I was really happy with the picture, the photo that I got, that I used for the logo for this week. Um, I don't remember what the name of this particular statue is off the top of my head. Actually, I don't remember the name of either one. I do remember that this one is. I know this one though. It's bothering me that I can't remember it just right now. But it had been really. It had rained overnight, and the clouds were just starting to lift, and I just really liked the way they were lifting, and you could kind of see the sky a little bit way off in the distance, and they were still drifting past the ridge, and you could sort of, it was just sort of dark and grayish bluish. I love the texture of the clouds, and I like the angle that I got with this statue in the foreground, and seeing there's actually a couple of them that you can kind of see. You can see this one is like almost like a pencil tip, and it's very, very shiny. You can't really tell. It just looks like it's white there, but it's super shiny. And then let's see. There's this one. This one is named Chartres, Chartres. So Chartres, which I think is how it would be pronounced. And then can I see any others? Way over here, I don't remember this one, but there. Oh wait, let me move this way because again, you can't see everything on here. This one is also a statue way over here. We see anybody else? Can we see shiny naked man? No, we can't. There's also in very shiny, there's a naked dude. I haven't featured him yet. Yeah, I just took these on my phone. But yeah, I've started enjoying taking pictures when I go out for morning walks just because the light's really pretty. I really like it. And when I, go out, and in fact, I think I've got more. Why don't there are ones that aren't in there? Huh. I thought I had some from my walk this morning. Let me see. All right, this is gonna look messy for a minute here. Bear with me. Yeah, why aren't they in there? I don't know. But like, here we go. There we are. You can see that. Kind of. But yeah, there is some pretty sky, and you can kind of see the morning glories out. And then I don't know what kind of flowering bush that was, shrub. Um, it's been really rainy and really humid today. Um, shiny naked man absolutely does deserve to be seen. Um, but maybe I would suggest going to the website for Montague Sculpture Park. And yeah, it's there was one day over the summer, because this is a relatively recent statue. There was one day over the summer that I went by, and it was the first day it was up. I guess they put it up over the weekend, and there was a day camp that was there. So these two school buses pulled up, and all of a sudden there's this crowd of like 10-year-olds. You know where they went. Ah, he's so shiny. He's so shiny. It's just hilarious. There he is. I will say, okay, so one of the other things at the Hunter Museum of Art, there's this one statue of a female figure, and she looks to be submerged in water because she's sort of suspended, and the hair is flowing. The hair is really interesting. And she's naked. And on a number of the statues where they're I don't know if it's because they're too large, but whatever, they're not encased in glass. And feet are cool. And so there's like a little sticker down at the bottom that essentially says, "Please do not touch." It has a little hand in a circle with a line. And the thing is, there is one part of the statue, and she's in bronze. There's one part of the statue, it's like this dark brown, similar to this picture, this color. There's one part that is a more coppery color. And I'm just like, it's just this one small part on the statue that clearly has been touched repeatedly over years, like again and again and again, because like it's worn the finger oils and acid on the fingers, and those chemicals have changed the color, have affected the metal. It's like some of the posts, if you go if you're on, for example, at Disney World and Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion, the last part right before you get on the ride vehicle, the posts of the queue are shaped in, I think they're like they look like eagles heads, but cheese and bronze. I don't know what I said, Radical Bacon, sorry. But like the last one is where you have to turn and double back. The last one, that it's worn smoother than the others, and also the coloring has changed, and it's just obvious that it's been touched more, and you can see like the eagle's feathers, the little pointy parts. They're not sharp and pointy, but they stick out, and then the beak also has a little bit of, it looks a little bit more copper colored, and or sort of goldish, but it's like a burnish, but it's not that dark color like that. I'm just trying to look at where I'm pointing, and it's clear that it's been touched, and where it's been touched, and that it's been touched a lot over a long period of time. It's her nipple, you guys. It's her nipple. And I'm just like, people, really, just, oh, it's a thing. Anyway, so I would love to hear. I'm gonna do the thing. Come on, go back. There we are. There we are. Scroll all the way up to the top. So I hope you have had a wonderful 2 weeks, and let me know in the chat of good things that have happened. Why? Exactly, Kemp. Why do? Why do? Or in the case of, some of these things like, reversing climate change, why not do? Actually, no, let's be honest. We know why not do. Because inconvenient, inexpensive for people who have lots of money. I'm being positive. I'm positive that this stuff needs to change. How's that? Does that work, guys? Can I say that? Does that count as positivity and good things? It would be good if we had more change, more of this kind of change. So, come on. If I am going to have those positive things, y'all need to put them in the chat now, because let me tell you, I am like gone beyond my time. Why are people? Money. Yes, money. It reminds me of I don't know, is it Incredibles 1 or Incredibles 2? I don't know, but the dude who is in charge of like managing them, he's like, oh, money. Oh, I don't know that we can do that, Radical Bacon. I really don't know that we can. Even if we go to even if we go to a non-capitalist system, I think money, Graeber explains it really well, that money is just, it's a concept. It is our trust in each other and the system. D&D 1 is bringing back peace. Yes, thank you. You mentioned that earlier, and that is a good thing. That is good. What else is good? Other good things. The sun is out. Maybe it won't rain tomorrow, and I can go for a walk with my parents. If not, I'll probably at least have dinner with them. So, yay. What else is good? There's other good stuff in the world, ain't there? Y'all, please, help me out. Will there still be a Wednesday stream? I think so. We're going to be watching. Yeah, we're gonna oh, are we on Hilda again? We just watched Hilda. What is going to replace Hilda? We talked about this and we figured something out. I thought, all of a sudden I don't remember. I came up with something. Steve, what are we doing after Hilda? Are we talking about that, or is that going to be a surprise for later? Because I don't remember. Honest to goodness. Something. I guess maybe either we don't know, or Either we don't know or it's a secret and it's a surprise. One of those two things. But yeah, we're still going to be doing, I mean, shoot, we could go, I thought I came up with something. Wait, no. I thought I came up with something. Shoot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm really hoping that I like this one even more than I liked the first half of Past Tense, which I did like. All right. Yeah, but now I don't remember what it was. No, it's not, because what goes opposite fifth edition. Whoops, that ain't happening. What goes opposite DS9 is going to be something that I have seen and Steve is not. So anyway, also don't forget that this coming Friday for Readaway, we are reading the short story "It's a Good Life" by Jerome Bixby, and then we are going to watch the Twilight Zone episode based on the short story, and that's available on wherever we watch DS9. Paramount. Starts with P. Paramount. Yes. Good for me. Wow, I'm remembering things like nobody's business. Knock wood. Or I could have done this one too, but that's actually closer, even though you can't see it. What else? Dun 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 dun. I have some other videos going up. Don't know what's going to go up when. Our Twilight Zone special. And let's keep it a secret for now, because apparently if we haven't told anybody, it's probably supposed to be a surprise. And then, yeah, so I'll be on Wednesday, and then, oh yeah, and if, like and subscribe and ding the bell, and I have a Patreon, and that's patreon.com/Dana Coldares. You can find me Dana Coldares just about, any social media. And also, Steve's got a channel, and I'll be on there on Wednesday, and we're going to watch more DS9. So I guess that's it. Yay! I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Saturday, or those of you who are over in Europe and such like, that you have a wonderful Sunday. Have a lovely rest of your weekend and a great 2 weeks. And don't forget to leave me comments telling me about the good things in your life. Please, please, please. Goodness knows, I've really struggled with this one, you guys. I really did, but we made it through. Hooray. Yes! Thank you, Radical Bacon. Thank you, thank you. Charity links. They're down in the description. Always a good opportunity to help folks if you can. And if you can't, you can also take that link and share it around on social media so that maybe other people have the opportunity to help as well. Hooray! So, I guess that's everything. I'm going to now figure out where the button is to not be live. Oh, there's YouTube again. And so now I'm going to end the stream. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.